Let's see. Are we streaming? I think we're streaming. Looks like everything's working the way it's supposed to. Let's close that. Yeah. Oop, let's go in here. And let's go ahead and nix Discord real quick. All right. Look at all them creepy ass spiders, dude. I don't even think they have 8 legs. I think they've only got 6. So they're like creepy ass scorpions that look like spiders, maybe. That might be it. People just be coming in here attacking my poor. Yo, what up, Gravy? Come in here and just insta-give my boss, huh? That's how we say hello now? I didn't realize that making this bot fight game was gonna turn chat into a bunch of bloodthirsty psychopaths. Yeah, I'll be wildin'. Why? I sit, I wonder why, why you left me. Oh, Sandy. Go play some. Gonna go play some streams. Say what now? Like you're gonna go play on stream? Got it. Got it. Yeah, enjoy your stream, dude. Have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. All right. So today's the first day of the new week. We haven't done any of our dailies. Let's go ahead and check our missions here. We've got most of our random shit. We got our weekly missions in here. Nice. Let's claim all this stuff. Claim all these extra little rewards down here. And let's see, we got 24,000 of these, so we're going to want to go to the shop and make sure we finish up buying our crystal stuff. I already bought most of this stuff. I had enough. Let's go ahead and buy these. Cool. So I think we just need 24,000 more crystals to get the last of it there. That's what it looks like. And we'll be donezo. Let's see, we got use some of them. We got use some of them. We have 19 more of these keys, which will be interesting when we do the dungeons to see if we can do those 19 keys on the monster XP. Let's go ahead and open up these 300. Bummer. Do we have enough for a critter? Nope. Flame on the pass. Nice. Let's see. Who do we want to get off the summoning road? I don't think it really matters. This is likely... Actually, let's get a Chassin. Chassin is going to be one of our mains for sure. Claim all these that I just bought. And then let's go through, let's see about events. Gonna claim all these. We gotta clear some mastery dungeons and clear all day 13 missions. Oh, okay, so we just gotta clear the mastery dungeons and then we'll get that. So we'll definitely do that. We gotta check in, we get some draws, nice. We've got some missions, which we'll finish up here soon, but we'll go ahead and finish those for now. Claim all those rewards. Got a daily check-in event, nice. We've got the lucky spin. Definitely want to hit that. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. We want to go do this guy. Let's see. What do we got going on? We'll take those. We need to do Land of Conquest. I already picked up all these. And then we conquested it, and now it's running on its own? Yeah, no, it's running on its own. So you sit on it for the whole period of time. And you take all of it. And then it looks like once you've actually conquested it, you get them always. And so when I go to conquests, I can see in here, I've got my ranged ones, but I've also got these. So it looks like I should be able to collect. I can. Okay. So I'm going to finish mopping up here in the next 600 of these. And then I'll be able to conquer it like I conquered this other one. And then I'll be able to get all of these. That's interesting. I still don't know what the fuck these are for. I have yet to be able to figure that out. But we're cool. We're getting it. We want to go to the Dragon's Nest here. I was rank 11 apparently, so I get some rewards. Nice. Let's deploy. Let's auto select. And then let's enter. Let's see what we can get done here against the Dragon Naraka. I usually get like 31, I think, treasures. So let's hope that I at least get that many this time. It'd be cool if I could start getting more. There's 31, 32. Nice, 33. Oh, we're getting so many more treasures. Yeah. Getting it. Getting it. Beat that dragon's ass. Ouch. 35, that's nice. That's real nice. And then let's go into the library. Let's solve our library quiz. Which of the following is not a stat found in Rush? Bubble hit rate? Wow, yeah, that's definitely not. Which of the following skill cards has a defense down effect? Hiss, 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 crystal spear, draconic charge, flaming boomerang. Let's go with this one. Damn. Which critter has an ownership effect that is not a... Oh, I have no idea. Let's go with Barbo. Nope, Baby Shiba. Okay. I did really poorly on those questions. That was sad. Okay, let's go in and let's do our guild stuff. We want to get our claim supplies here. Nice. We want to go to the guild dungeon. Let's see, I was ranked 23rd, so I got a bunch of shit. That's nice. Let's get a supporter. And let's go in there and clear this bad boy again. Let's zoom out on this one. There we go. See a little better this way. This is real nice. I don't know who Intara is, but we are crushing this. Why am I only getting 135 chests? We're definitely continuing to kill it a bunch of times. Or clear a bunch of its hit points. I'm pretty confused as to why I'm not getting more than 135 chests. What is happening in my life? Must be the maximum. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna open up all of these chests. And then we go back to the Skyland. Oh, wait. Actually need to go in here. Sure, we'll use up these. But we need to go to Sky Patrol, claim all these rewards, patrol again. Then we'll go back to Sky Island. We'll go to the temple here. We'll finish up this constellation as much as we can. Cool. Promote chess in there. Very nice. Let's see, we got some sort of a mail. Okay, these are the rewards that I got for our levels in some certain places. Let's take a look at our arenas. I've already got the week rewards for these. So this took me back down to 2,800 on both of these. I was gold 2. So it doesn't leave you necessarily where you finished. It does take you down a little bit, but still pretty close. Let's just go through here and beat any and all of these that I have. We've got some extra keys from some different stuff as part of the weeklies. So yeah, we're going to enter in here. We're just going to go through and do our daily and weekly dungeons, which will give us lots of resources. We should be able to put a pretty significant amount of stuff down on our characters here. We still have 19 keys, which hopefully we'll get to use on XP. And then we're going to level up our tank and level up a couple of our primary damage dealers a little bit. And that should help us really push some more stages. And I'm very excited to push more stages. That is definitely one of the most important things in this game, is pushing the stages. Alright, we got all those. Claim our rewards here. Ooh, they gave us another key chest. Nice. Go in here and do these 4. Yeah, we should almost certainly be able to do the next 19 of these. If this thing's only half my power, shouldn't be a problem at all. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lose my tank here. He's bad, bad. Leroy Brown. Baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than no King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Alright, take all those. Pop down here. Get us some relic bonuses. That was comically easy. How do you guys expect to beat me? Bammo. Good guy, Fulio. Go ahead and claim up these rewards. Ooh, another key. Man, we're going to make some real progress on our XP one. This is going to be great. Really excited about it. Ooh. Pretty legendary pull. Nice. I love it because you get 21 of each of the keys every week. So you get like an extra key guaranteed from every one of them every week. And then I think you actually get, you either get the legendary pull every 50 or every 20. It might be every 20. So you might guaranteed get a legendary pull from each one every week too, which is just free 7 legendaries every week. Which is a good deal. So here's one, that's 10, that's 20, that's 10. Yeah, it's every 20. So you get one every week. And then you get a key every 10. Yeah. Well, we're going to stop getting keys. Okay. So for a while, you got a key every 10. But now you're only going to get more of the XP stuff. But that's fine. Still going to get a legendary every 20. So let's see here. We have 22 of these bad boys. So let's start simple. Let's just go with 10. And if I can clear these next 10 without any problems, then we'll just get the last 12 and we'll just do all 12 of them. I'm pretty sure I should be good to go, but you never know what'll happen. No, it still looks like I'm not losing anybody. And that's pretty big. Pretty big. Get so much free XP from this. This is wonderful. I mean, we're getting 5 million plus, 6 million. Every single one of these that we fight, we're going to fight 22 of them. It's going to be 60, 120 million. Plus you get another about the same amount. So it's going to be like 240 million XP. Tank's going to get so strong. Yeah, that seemed pretty easy. I think we can just do the next 12. And then we go in here. Yeah, we get basically the same amount. That's a little less than what you get from the actual combat. There's another 50 mil. If we look in here, we're already up to 170. And we've still got 12 of these keys. So let's use those bad boys up. Let's go back into the dungeon. Let's see. It is at 1 billion power now. So it is starting to catch up to us. It's not too bad. We started at 600, so we gained about 400 million. So if it gains at approximately the same rate that it's been gaining, then I think we should be able to beat it all 12 of these times. We're still keeping all of our heroes. Our tank isn't dying or anything. As long as that keeps not happening, I'm pretty comfortable with the idea that we'll make it. And if for some reason we come up a little short, we haven't spent any of our resources today on leveling up or improving, really. We've just been getting all the resources, doing all the dailies, collecting all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and go in. We'll use up all of our stuff. We'll get all of our power up. And then we'll come back, and I'm sure we'll be able to finish if for some reason we don't. Although I don't think it's going to be a problem. We've only got 9 more to go. So we're going to get up to 128, I believe is the last one we're going to beat. It looks like it's going to get up to where we're going to be getting about 7 million per kill, which is huge. The further along we get on this, it's a really good thing that somebody told me that the monster XP and the breakthrough crystals that you get from this one were going to be so important, because leveling up your mons is going to be a really big deal. So getting myself in a position where I'm going to be getting tons and tons of these resources is super good. The Arachne does look like it does quite a bit of AoE, so a lot of my heroes, or my mons, are taking hits. Because so many of the legendaries look like people, and this is actually something that started happening in Summoner's War, the original Sky Arena, was they started having a lot more human-like monsters, instead of the monster-like monsters that they had sort of started with. And that trend seems to be carrying on. We've got a lot of human-esque monsters in this game, which I don't know if I like. I would kind of like to have, like Grogan and stuff, the dragon. I'd like to have maybe a little more of that. I think that'd be a little more interesting to watch and look at. My upstairs neighbor is vacuuming. I hate the vacuum. I hate it. Makes me angry. Alright, let's claim all these. Booyah. Let's go ahead and see what we got. 320 mil. No, I think that's pretty much everything. We'll do some Trial of Ascensions, but we'll do that after we start powering up here. We don't have all of our... Well, we're going to need to do our World Arena today. But we've got most of that stuff all done. We've got lots of coinage to use here, so let's use our coinage. Let's go in here. Do we have any more of these? Yes, we do. Let's use that. We went in everything, gathered up everything. We've got our critic commotion is running for another 2.5 hours. Okay. Let's go in here. Let's look at aerial. Honestly, I think I just want to level up. That takes me one level short of where I was before. I used to be in level 64. So let's take a look at, yeah, 25.9 mil. That feels real nice. Let's go back in here. Let's take a look at aerial. We've got some points to spend on some advancements. Failed. Got a crit resistance. And then a crit resistance, a crush rate, and an HP. Nice. That 20% HP took me from 26.9 to 26.5. Sorry, 25.9 to 26.5. So that's pretty massive. Good deal. Good deal. Now let's go in here to Suyua. Well, let's see. We've still got one that's not quite level 50 yet. Get that one a little closer. Then we'll go into Suyua, and we'll use these 5,000 points here that we've got. And we'll get nice a crit rate, an HP, and an attack. That's real nice. And then we should need a ranged. Yep. We'll use these points. Defense. Defense double HP. Nice. We're now up to 3.888 billion. That feels real good. Let's go into the boss. And let's see if we can defeat our little worm here with all this extra power we've received. Our tank is standing up real nicely. Tank got killed right at the end there, but it looks like we're gonna make it here. That went pretty well. We can get critted like that right there. That's probably enough to end that run for us. But if he doesn't crit us, well, he critted us again. That's annoying. Let's see. We finished up all these, so let's claim that. Finished up all these, so we get to claim those. Let's go into the shop and do any pulls that we can. Nice. We can get another 300 here with a legendary. What do we get? Shiwa. Do another 300 pull. Nothing. That's too bad. Do we have any critter pulls? We can do a 300 critter pull. No legendaries. Too bad. Go into our monsters. Promote. Shiwa gets promoted. Nice. Promote a critter. Little bear there. 3% evasion. And then we go down into missions. We make sure we finish all these. Groovy. And I guess one of the last things we could do, ooh, look, we have two of these, I forgot. Get a Shiwa and an Alicia. We do have all of this stuff. We can use all of these and get a bunch of resources here. And then we can use those resources. Hey, we're up to 4 billion. We'll use those resources some more. Do we want to level this up another time or two? We could take this probably up to level 65 here. I almost want to. And so we're going to. And if we break through again, we'll be able to get up to level 70. I don't know what the maximum level is. But that gives us 29 million HP. Let's go in here. Let's use all of our points. And I think it's about time to go ahead and run these 1,600 of these. Out of 1,600, we should definitely see some improvements here. Surely. We also only need 300 more until we can finish buying out the weekly crystal stuff, which is great. Then we can start focusing on lime again. If we take a look, we think, yeah, we have one more Laima. I want to get Laima to level 5, I think. At least. If we can get Laima to level 5 star, we get increased range, we get cooldown rating. Both good things. If we can get all the way to 7, we can get some additional crit rate and crit damage. And damage dealt. Oh, wow. Ooh, she does a lot for herself. Doesn't do anything for anybody else. She does a lot for herself. I think maybe if we actually switch this up, we might be able to do a better job of fighting this worm because we'll keep ourselves higher in life. We probably need to use the middle potions, but I'm going to try it with the low tier potions. Because that'll... Nope. Got murked. Let's see if I can beat him without having my tank. Ooh. Crit damage graze rate or HP triple hit rate. Ugh. That's a rough one. HP and triple hit rate both technically help. Graze rate I don't think really does a whole lot for me. Fuck it. Let's do it. Okay, we were not able to do that with the little potion. So maybe with the medium potion. Ultimately, it really does just kind of come down to, yeah, as soon as he hits me with the 3 attacks back to back, I'm pretty much toast. I'll probably have to kite that boss. I don't think I'm just going to make it, but we have gotten ourselves up to 4.2 billion here, which is nice. Let's go check on our ranking. We made it up to 28. We're still ranked 6. Tremorous hasn't come to catch up to us yet. And then we're almost 300 ahead of that next person. And then almost 500 ahead of that next person. Okay, so we're not really... We're in maybe a little bit of danger of falling back down to rank 7. Tremorous is still a little stronger than us. But we also may be able to catch up. We'll skate punk here and maybe even catch up to OK. We might be able to get back into rank 4. Depending on some stuff here. We've got 200k to go before we get to level 20 here. Level 20 is not going to really do anything for us. We really need to get to level 22, and that's just going to take a really long time. But that's okay. Let's see how the kiting goes with the sandworm. Oh, you motherfucker. Don't want. Okay, so we are able to kite to get ourselves more time, which is good. So there's still going to be some opportunity for us to end up failing, I think. But this should make winning a little easier. We'll pull ourselves down into this corner here. We'll get everybody there, and then we'll go out. We're saving ourselves about 5 seconds. And yeah, it looks like if I don't lose the tank in the first set of attacks... Oh, he did the crit when Lima had him blind. That was real nice. Yeah, so if I don't lose the tank in the first couple of seconds, it seems like we're okay. So we just stay down here. We get ourselves an extra 5 or 6 seconds. And we murk this fool. And once we beat the sandworm, things should hopefully get easier. Hopefully the sandworm is the only boss that I have to kite. I don't really want to have to be paying too much attention. We got graze rate here. We have graze rate and HP here. We're not going to just take the graze rate, even though that's a huge boost. Ooh, might almost be worth it, actually. Goodness. I mean, that's 150,000 gear score. Okay, we probably have to equip that one. That's probably enough of a base increase that it's significantly boosting. Let's actually look at this. 27.46. I think I was actually up to 29. So that did actually reduce. I've taken 2 hits to my HP now. For the sake of damage on one. And then nothing on the other. So even though it technically increased my power, I think it ultimately lowered my strength. Which is pretty funny. I lost 2 of my heroes, 3 of my heroes. I might not make it on this one. We're gonna see. Yeah, we're definitely not making it. Okay. Reset that bad boy. Ooh. I survived that crit just barely, and then it got me. Hopefully, we're still good enough here. It's tight. We'll see what these last couple of seconds bring. I don't think I'm going to make it. Goodness. I think that change on that item was enough to kind of mess me up. Or maybe I'm just getting hit with too many crits or something. I don't know. Maybe my accuracy's too low. There's a lot of... Definitely not taking that one. Let's close that, actually. Something we didn't do is we didn't go into our masteries. We didn't do our relics, which we're not really going to get any damage boosts or anything from our relics, but we will go ahead and level up this one that gives us more relic pieces. We've got our area survey. Let's go in here. Let's hit some HP on the area survey. And sure, why not? Some crit damage and some evasion. Okay, that should bring us back up a little bit here. What do we got? Oh, cool. A little bit of a boost. Hopefully that'll help. Just don't crit me. You motherfucking worm. Why do you keep doing this to me? Doesn't look like we're succeeding there. We're gonna beat this worm. It's the last thing I do. There we go. We've still got our tank. Gonna be able to beat this nice and smooth. It's all about that tank, man. The minute I lose the tank, I start losing bonuses and buffs to damage and stuff. And as soon as that happens, it's game over. We kind of messed that one up, but we usually have a couple of seconds left over, so if everything goes properly on this one, which it looks like it is, we're still going to win. Nice. Alright, just got to beat it 2 more times. And we will get to the next boss. Get critted there. Hopefully, we only lost the tank there. So we got all of our big damage off. So hopefully everybody kind of stays alive for a little bit here. We can push this damage just a little more. Hey, we're going to make it. Alright, last one. Ah, shit. Yep, that's game there. It went ahead and hit me twice and then critted me down, so I didn't get a single potion off on my tank. And that's just never going to work out. Okay, I lost the tank on the second attack after the first potion there. But that might be enough. We might be good to go. We are. Good deal. All right, who's the next boss? What do we got here? The Axe Fox. Let's see how little Tanky does here. So far, so good. All right, there's definitely some room for error in here, probably. But things are mostly looking good. We are going to have to start working on some DPS. But I think we can... We're able to get another 200 million XP from our defense battles. So probably one more level on Tanky here. Oh no, he's level 65. Probably won't level him again then. So we'll get some levels on our DPSs, our Suya, our Kraka, our Sabrina. We'll start working on leveling them up. Things should go pretty good there. I'm very excited about it. Things seem to be working pretty good against the Fox. So I think that's going to be a nice smooth go. How high do I need to get out ahead of these two? We got 2,900 and 2,851. I think 2,851 is probably the sandworm again. Or maybe 2,841 is the sandworm again. Not 100% sure, but it's probably a pretty good chance that that person's getting hung up on the sandworm. Xbox. Almost sounds like Xbox. Just straight kill in the game. Speaking of game, as far as our chat game is concerned, I got a local LLM running and kind of responding the way I want on my laptop. So now all we need to do is communicate between my laptop and streamer.bot through an HTTP. And once we can do that, I will be able to implement the new system for doing attacks that uses the letters instead of the commands, which I think will be super cool. And then we'll start working towards our extension for the chat so that your letters can always be displayed to you. And then, yeah, things will be really on their way at that point. Then we'll go back to Godot and start working on getting the Godot implementation done. Something we do need to look into is trying to implement the LLM inside of the Godot game instead of having to have the LLM separate. So I'm going to have to look into what it would take to implement the LLM as part of the actual packaged game instead of separate. If I can do that, especially if I can do that with very specific instructions, that'll be huge. All right, moving on to a new boss. We've got the mummy here. Let's see how the mummy does as far as damaging our tank. It's hitting us pretty hard, but it doesn't look like it's critting us at all. And as long as I'm not getting crit, these medium potions are going to keep me going pretty good. So it doesn't look like the mummy is going to be taking out our tank. And this will take us up to 31, and then we'll get a different boss that'll take us up to 41. And then hopefully a different boss that'll take us up to 51, where we should fight the worm again. And when we have to fight the worm again, we should just have to kite it out some more. The kiting on the worm is pretty difficult compared to the Farfalla. Right, the Farfalla we were able to kite all the way until our Mons got their exclusive skill. We're not going to probably be able to do that with the worm. We're only going to be able to get about halfway there. So that's going to mean slightly more difficulty with getting the kite done. So we'll just have to pay attention to that. I just don't think that you can do it on here. We're not hitting hard enough this time. We must have missed with quite a few attacks. We still have a little bit of a chance here. We're kind of pushing. Ooh, yeah, we just barely squeaked that one out. But that's just what happens. You know, we have a chance to miss. Our accuracy isn't maxed out. So stuff like that can happen. Let's actually go in and let's check some of our characters that are the most important as far as the damage they do. Or the bonuses they do. Like, Cassandra is really important. We probably need to go in and give her some accuracy. We'll just give her some more. There you go. A couple of my other ones are pretty important. We'll probably want to go in and do Artie and the monkey as well. And the reason for that is they do the debuffs on the boss. So those debuffs are pretty important. Because those debuffs are more multipliers. So they stack on top of all of the buffs that all of the other characters give. So, you know, if you're getting 20% increased crit damage, you're also getting 20% increased on that 20% increase when you do a defense down or a damage resistance down to the boss. Because those two things are calculated separately, right? You calculate how much damage you're doing, and then you calculate the boss's defenses. So, a significant improvement there in damage when you have, you know, defense down and damage resistance down. They become multiplicative with all of the other bonuses that you get, which is massive. We've got ourselves another 200 orbs here. Let's go ahead and get these opened up. Oh. There was a masterpiece item in there, but it apparently wasn't good enough. Last one on the mummy. I don't actually remember what comes after the mummy. I'm excited. What do we got? Maze Rampage. Oh, it's the Minotaur. Actually, the Minotaur might be kind of difficult. I don't remember if he has a crit that he frequently uses, or how much damage and stuff he does. We seem to be holding out, though. And our DPS seems to be on track. I think we're going to be okay. Nice. Good deal. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be good here. I think since it seems unlikely that we're going to lose to the Minotaur, I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Never mind. We getting there, skate punk. I'm coming for you, dude. I'm coming for you. Think all this extra power you have over me matters? Doesn't even matter a little bit. Get wrecked, nerd. Get wrecked, nerd. Oh, it's gonna be a close one. Come on, push it. You suck. Somehow my tank died. Can't be having my tank die. It's unacceptable. Ooh, that was close. We had to go kill another one of his little minion dudes. Yeah, here we go. That last one we got super cut close. There we had 6 extra seconds. It's crazy how much of a difference just a couple of misses on some big hits can make. I have pretty freaking high accuracy. I don't miss very often. He got my tank. So a couple of my DPSs went down, so I wasn't going to win that one. Let's see, where are we at over here? We're on level 128 on the XP. That's great. Freaking great, dude. All right, after this one, we've only got 2 more victories that we got to go through. So take them out 2 more times, and then we move on to whatever comes next. I don't think it's the worm. Pretty sure the worm will be at 51. I think there's 5 bosses, and you kill each of the 5 bosses 4 times throughout the 200. One more win here, and then we get to see our next boss. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, this game is fairly simple. Oh, hey, there's Nemanja. There's Nemanja. What's up, dude? How are you? All right. I'm doing fantastic. Ooh, a sphinx. That's right. Hopefully we can kill the sphinx without too much ado, and then we'll be back to kiting the worm. Yeah, it looks like the sphinx is going to be pretty easy peasy. I got on the laptop where I usually run my chat and stuff like that. I got a local LLM to work that seems to be quick enough that it should be able to operate as our comparator for the new system of attacks for the game. So now I just need to get that and my streamer.bot linked through HTTP. And once I get all of that working, then I'll be able to send the commands from you all, which instead of using just !baseattack, will use the new sort of Scrabble word system. And so we'll use that natural language, and then I'll give the character a bunch of different types of attacks that will ultimately just be tied to animations. And then the letters that you use will dictate the damage that you do. And the comparator from the LLM will decide what animation to play. And then we'll be good. That whole system will be all done. And then we'll start working towards getting the game into Godot and getting more animations and trying to get the LLM to run inside the Godot game instead of running as a separate entity. And if we can get all of that done, then we can start packaging the game and distributing it, which would be insanely cool. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all I do. If I'm not streaming, I'm usually working on the game. I mean, I don't do anything else, right? I sit at home in front of this computer all day. And so if I'm not streaming, I might be playing video games, but even if I'm playing video games, I've usually got things up on the other screen, or, I'll play for a couple of minutes and then I'll have a thought and I'll go, talk to ChatGPT, try and get some code written, something like that. But I spend pretty much 100% of my time working on this channel. Not necessarily in the same way that a lot of people work on content creation, right? Like, I fucking hate editing video. So, if I was going the standard route, I would be spending all of that time making lots of YouTube videos and shorts and stuff like that. But I hate doing that crap, and my computer's pretty old and slow, so it's pretty hard to do a lot of that stuff. It takes a lot of time, and you're just kind of sitting there, and it bogs down all of my computer resources, so I can't really play a game and do that at the same time. So that's just not really my cup of tea. It's not what I like. So working on this game has been a really nice departure from some of those more standard content creation ropes that you kind of have to do. It gives me an opportunity to do things that I enjoy as opposed to being annoyed. It has drastically improved the quality of my mood. Think so. And I think it's going to be super cool. I think my older brother and I pretty much have the best possible idea for using existing language models for gaming. I think a lot of people, their eyes were a little too big for what existing large language models can do. And, they wanted to make all the NPCs like really interact. They wanted to, make like quest systems and stuff that are written on the fly and so they can be infinite. And large language models today just aren't quite that good, especially not on the scale that you need them to be, right? Either you have to use something like ChatGPT 5, which would be an insane undertaking to try and incorporate that into a game, or you get sort of lackluster responses and lackluster coding capabilities and stuff like that. And so we're just not there yet where we have a resource to capability ratio that can really work. We're going to have to restart this one. And so we needed to sort of step back, right? It's even really lightweight LLMs are extremely good comparators. And so you can have a much better simulation of that sort of natural language system by obfuscating your predefined options, right? So you're still only going to be able to do, a couple of different actions, right? You're still going to have a heal. You're still going to have an attack up. You're still going to have, a regular and a strong attack. And then, of course, we'll add more and more attacks and stuff. But by obfuscating that and not just making it so that you're inputting, exclamation base attack, exclamation attack up, and making it so that you can input anything and then use an LLM as a comparator to identify which of those ultimately small number of options you're using, it makes it feel a little more like anything is possible, even if only a few things are possible. That's also true, I think, of procedural generation. So games nowadays that use a lot of procedural generation use a system of tags. And what that means is an item is identified by its tags. So if you have, a great sword of fire and ice or something like that, you would have some tags that were like two-handed, fire, ice, weapon, things like that. And so those tags are used by procedural generation systems to deploy, items or biomes like in Minecraft or any of those things. And those tags are very much the same as the attacks that I'm trying to implement, right? So you can use natural language and then through an LLM, identify tags most closely associated with that natural language, and then use that system of tags to procedurally generate things that feel completely unique based on what you've input, but are still, determined by that same procedural generation system. So again, it's just all about sort of obfuscating those restrictions by allowing natural language to access those restrictions. And I think that's kind of where machine learning and AI and stuff is right now. I think that's as good as we're going to be able to do, at least in a runtime environment. You might be able to do a lot more with something, as you're building the game, as you're making the game. But you definitely aren't going to be doing any better than that with a runtime execution. At least not for now. In the future, absolutely. You know, they'll keep making models smaller and more powerful and more useful. And as they do that, you know, we'll be able to implement more and more and more AI to, you know, help us create a world that seems limitless in video games, which I'm very much looking forward to. I really like the idea of, you know, AI generated questing and NPCs that have their own goals and objectives and, you know, talk to you and remember through context what it is that your, you know, your past relationship is and stuff like that, and can do that with, you know, everybody. I mean, that's an outstanding future to look towards, but it's just not where we're at right now. Unless OpenAI wants to shut down its website and allocate all of its resources to a single video game, we just don't have the resources to run an AI like that. Right? OpenAI would just have to willingly forego all of the money it's making to specifically use all of the hardware resources it's using right now for its GPT models, specifically for, and it would only work for like a video game. And that's just way too many resources to be allocating to just one video game like that. But one of these fucking days, man. Yeah. One day. And then after that, they're going to find a way for me to download my brain into a computer. And that'll be it. I'll be living in a computer, no more having to eat, no more bullshit body maintenance. Just in a computer playing a video game. Rest of my life. Well, rest of eternity. Because at that point, you're immortal. That's right. No more need for sleep. No more need to eat. Oh, sounds wonderful. Till someone deletes me. I mean, as soon as you have the technology to put a brain in a computer, you have the technology to back up that brain pretty much infinitely. So, I mean, with a resource as valuable as your consciousness, you just air gap that motherfucker and hide it somewhere. There's no reason to believe that if we had the ability to digitize a mind, that we wouldn't be able to implement safety protocols and redundancies that would make it virtually impossible to delete the data that was you. And I'm certainly not galvanizing enough of a figure to make enough people angry that they would be able to or willing to finance and pull off an operation of the scale it would take. Delete the, you know, dozens of physical backups that a person would have literally the minute we learn how to do that technology. I mean, You would have to really, really hate a motherfucker to spend that much money and work out the ability to do something like that. Some nerd who plays video games on the internet, not the person those people are going after. Oh no, what's bugged? I mean, I suppose you're right. It is still technically possible that I could piss somebody off that bad. But I like to think that maybe not. Doo-doo. A lot of magic orbs. I think it was Abu that I got last time. I think he's the one that I like the most. So let's go ahead and buy him. Promote that bad boy. Yeah, attack and defense. Hell yeah. Abu. Prince Ali, fabulous Ali Babwa. I think it's time to buy these last little bits of crystal things here. I think that's everything I can buy this week. Nice. So the next goal will be to buy some more limus. So I need 100,000 more crystals. Oh, I got 30 of these. Let's actually use those. Oh, yeah. Actually, that makes me think. I think I have some of these critter ones too. I do, 220 of them. Let's go ahead and open up these. Bummer. No legendaries. Yeah, actually, let's go do this thing. If I beat these first two, I get another 100 mil. And if I beat the first 6, I get another 200 mil. But let's see about that, actually. Let's even go back in here. Let's claim these, and then let's go ahead and use those. And then let's go in here. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to take out this one. We're going to put in Lima, because she gives accuracy up only for ranged allies, but on crit. She's actually very good for this. Who else might I be able to take out for somebody better? Maybe we'll just leave things that way for now. And let's go in here. Let's see what's up. Take out some tower defense things. They can come from both sides, so we want one of our big melees here, one of our big melees here. I think we want... This is Laima. She's going to go there. We get our other big ranged here. Let's see, big ranged there. Good melee there. Well, actually, that's probably a good spot. Yeah, I think overall that'll be fun. Got a nice split for everything there. All right, we get our first little butterfly fairy here. Let's see how well my little breakdown works. As soon as she gets to Kraka, she gets pretty beat down. Good deal. Ooh, these things aren't even getting to Kraka. Goodness. Killing the game. All right, we got another sub-boss coming around this way. Our crystal is much stronger now, so should be good. Or not. Almost lost it right there. The other one should be coming from this way, hopefully. Yeah, we get another fairy coming down this way. Oh, nice. Good job. I am gonna get the root off. And I think our boss will be coming down from up top as well. Which we might go ahead and move Kraka over, if that's the case. She's definitely stronger than Melissa. Seems like it might not be an issue, though. Good to go. Good job. Challenge the next one. Yeah, let's put this one here. Actually, we want her down here. So if she roots next to more of my damage. Let's go ahead and put Sabrina here. She hits further over here when they spawn here. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. And actually, maybe put the stun in there. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah. Everybody's nice and clumped up. All my DPS is just right on top of each other on this one, so I think it should be a fairly easy one. My team tends to do much better when their DPS is just all right on top of each other, because they do a lot of multi-buffing and, you know, their crits do some good stuff and stuff like that. And if they're spread out, then those 2-second timers where the crits are actually doing things start to vanish by the time they get to the next enemy. So they're just not nearly as strong that way. And this way, everybody just stacks everything right on top of each other. And everybody gets beat the fuck down. Great. Works great. All right. All we have left is the boss. That'll give us 100 million more XP. Hey, it's an arachne. Nice. Let's go spend our 100 million XP. Oop. Gotta go back in there and claim it first. Numbnuts. Alright, we hit level 65 with this dude. Let's level this up one time so we're level 50 with everything. Let's go back into our monsters. And let's look at leveling up Kraka. Get the breakthrough. And then let's see about... Do I want to level up Cassandra? Now let's level up my Lima. There we go. I like that very much. That looks good. Was scary. I'm scary. I'm not scary. Weak sauce, dude. Barely over 4 billion power. There's people with 4 trillion. I'm only 4 billion. Let's not sing my superiority quite yet. Let's see, that's good. But then we can get things like Lima can go there. Ooh, that's actually even kind of a good spot. And then let's put Cassandra We have to be careful because this one's just a straight shot. So we've got all this, but then we've got these ones coming down, just boom, straight. That's actually sort of frightening. Yeah, let's do that way. By open, I assume you meant wallet, not valid. Opening my wallet wouldn't do any good. There's not anything in there. I have no resources to exploit. Even if I did, I actually think it's fairly irresponsible, especially considering the fact that so many children watch gaming streams or like really young adults. Maybe not necessarily my stream, but even here on my stream, there's an 11-year-old who comes in and watches sometimes. And so I think it's fairly irresponsible to spend money in really predatory free to play games like this because it promotes that culture and I think is a reason that more and more people are willing to spend money on these games. So just sort of as a rule, I doubt that I will ever do that. You know, there's got to be a moral line somewhere. Yeah, well, and so I don't like I personally don't really spend anything. But my older brother's a big fan of like battle passes. He plays a lot of TFT. He's been masters in TFT ever every season since TFT started. And so he buys the battle pass so he can get some of the cosmetics and stuff like that. And I think that's a fine place to draw the line. There are most of my games are bought selling skins from Counter Strike. Hey, there you go. There you go. If I was good enough at Counter Strike to make that a reality, I would. Who's that? Rank 7. At Globo Gym, we're better than you. And we know it. Yeah, let's call that a go there. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Ooh, we got our sub boss coming in here. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we made it. Good deal. For a game in like 4 months, I mean, that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. I'm a pretty big fan of systems like that. I don't know why more games don't utilize Steam's trade and skin system in that way. Because I think that's a huge draw for Counter-Strike and a huge perk of being, good at the game and uh, all that. Uh, One of the other games that sort of tried to get in on that and maybe didn't do a necessarily good job, but I think it was because the dev team was just too small, was Player Unknown Battlegrounds. They used the Steam skin system to some pretty decent effect, considering how small they were. Okay, we are not killing this boss. Come on now. Jeez, that was scary. If the big boss comes from the top, we're gonna have to rearrange some folks real quick. Throw Kraka right here, and then try and get Cassandra up there too. There we go. That ought to do it. Good, good. All right. Just got to beat 2 more of these. And then we get another 100 million XP. Yeah, I'm generally a big fan of trying to use your gameplay time to buy more games. Let's see. That one goes there. That one goes there. We got here. We got here. We got here. Maybe right there. Nope. Bop, bop. Nah, that one needs to go there. Okay, that should be good enough. Yeah, I mean, if I could get 10K worth of Steam currency or 10K in my Steam wallet, that'd be dope. I'd buy all the games. I'd be just giving people games. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. But the reason that that happens that way is that Counter-Strike is a really good game, right? Lots of people play it. And the prestige of those weapons and those skins has value because of the number of people who play the game, because of how popular the game, because of how much visibility there is on the game. And so you can't just like throw a cosmetic system on any garbage ass game and expect it to have that same kind of value, right? First, you have to have a good game, then you have to create, the artificial rarity by giving it a really low drop chance, and then you have to get lots of visibility on the game so that having a cool skin actually equates to people knowing that you have a cool skin. Which is why cosmetics and MMOs are extremely popular. Is because, in an MMO, just by virtue of the fact that you're using your skin and moving about the world, potentially, hundreds of people are seeing you in your skin. So your prestige is you know, getting out there to a large group. Which is why I miss the Guild Wars days. Oh, I hate this one. I think putting the strongest ranged characters in the middle, especially, and then I think probably at the edge here. Yeah, let's hope that's good enough. Yeah, see you soon. Kill this boss. Kill him. We got him. Bop. Ba-da, bop. Ba-da, bop. Ba-da, bop. Stupid ass butterfly fairy. This is die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die. Dunzo. Alright, all we got left is the boss. We got 2 summoner skills. Which means hopefully we don't die. We want to trigger them like around here. Oh, we got 2 bosses. They're gonna split and go to the outsides here. And then they'll come back together down here. So if they come back together down here, this is a good spot to hit them. But I don't even think either of them are gonna make it. Good deal. And that should be enough to get us our next 100 million here. Which means we get to go out here and spend another 100 million XP on, let's see, level up Laima. Let's get Cassandra on the breakthrough. Let's level her up a couple of times. Nice. Next, we're probably going to look at Rena. So we'll get her on the breakthrough. That feels pretty strong. Feels pretty strong. We're up to 4.4 billion now. Now we just need to go ahead and beat some of these missions. Use some magic orbs. Ooh. Nope. Go summon some monsters. We've got 300, so we'll summon 300. Didn't get anything. Clear stage 2160. We're way past that. Use more magic orbs. Defeat more creatures. Use 10 items. Summon 10 monsters. Clear stage 2180. Use 10 orbs. Summon 10 critters. Oh, we have 300 worth. Nice. No legends. Sad day. And now we're done. Definitely gonna wait for these items to open though. Actually, while those items open, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Sad day. No new items. What am I going to do with myself? All right. Let's get this jerk-face worm. May you great big pile of doo-doo. He killed my tank because he's a big old pile of doo-doo. Got him, though. Timer started a little early there because I wasn't quite on top of it, but I think we're still going to be okay. He got my tank right at the beginning again. And then he got my Tsuyua. Oh, then he got somebody else. Oh, then he got somebody else. Goodness, can you stop fucking multi-attacking every goddamn thing? What a dick. Oh yeah, just straight off with the multi-attack. Barely survived that. Already killed my Lima. Still might make it if Tsuyua lives, but she didn't. Maybe. Stop killing my freaking people, dude. Oh, this is so awful. I think we need some more freaking DPS. Unfortunately. I think we just have to accept the fact that we're probably going to lose our tank in those fights. So we just need to hit harder. Let's see, has Skatepunk. Skatepunk has not tried to get past. What do we do to increase DPS? Is there anything we can do with our monsters here? Here we go. See if we can't get some crit rate on Lima. Since she went through 120,000 dice the other day or yesterday, trying to get this third crit rate. Can we maybe have a third crit rate? Is that acceptable? Please? Pretty please? Anytime now. Anytime now with the crit rate. There we go. Hey, and it's a 3.6. That's nice. Okay. There was somebody else that I tried to put something on yesterday. I already have 3 crit rates on Suyua. I already have crit rate on Sabrina. I have HP on this dude. Crit rate on Cassandra. Crit rate on Kraka. Crit rate on Vanessa. We were trying to get another crit rate. I don't actually think it's all that important on Vanessa. What about Jean? She's got crit rate. Melissa, maxed out crit rate. Rena, crit rate. Arda, nothing. And this dude, nothing. Okay, so my dice are, I guess, Vanessa's kind of the last one that I have. Anything that I might need on. But that's okay. I think I'm going to leave. I'm going to keep those dice so that as I get Laima up, I can keep putting more and more good stuff on her. Because right now our base crit rate is 30%. Plus we get 20. We're up to about 50% crit rate when we're buffed here. Which is pretty awesome. Let's see. Kraka has the ability to use that. Nice. An attack and a defense. It's a good deal. Man, my team is starting to look pretty good here. I've got, I mean, what, 5, 6 people above level 55? Pretty dope. Killing the game. Really, really need this is kind of our sticking point now. Your equipment is a huge part of what keeps pushing you forward. And it's definitely going to be the thing that's holding me back a little bit right now. As soon as we get to a point where we can start getting more transcendent gear, and then of course miracle, mythic, eternal gear, we'll start moving much more quickly, hopefully. But we just need 100,000 more of these points down here before we can move up to rank 20. Yo, what's up, Damien? Flying in with the kill. How are you today? What are you getting yourself up to? Casually thumping a Triceratops. How rude. Gross. Just go give your boss the finger and go home. Just got updated on the drama surrounding Nintendo. Oh, yeah. What a clusterfuck, dude. Is your wife your boss? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe that that patent was ever approved. It just goes to show that that whole system is just extremely ineffective because the people who are deciding on whether or not patents get approved just don't know anything about the things that they're approving patents for. Right? You can't be an expert in everything. And so unless you're contracting out, to experts to identify, where some of the problems with giving out certain patents might be and where things are, common mechanics versus, proprietary innovations, you just end up with stupid shit like Nintendo getting a patent for summoning and letting a creature fight other creatures. Like, how is that even enforceable? That's every game with a necromancer ever. We just need a game that existed prior to Pokemon to just fight this, claim the patent themselves. Well, that doesn't help anything either, because it's something that's existed for so long in so many different iterations across so many different genres that it's like saying that you can have a patent on having a sword in your game, right? Necromancy is the act of summoning creatures and letting them fight for you. This is a fantasy staple. You cannot patent something that is a known part of lore and a known mechanic of the way certain types of fantastical classes operate. I mean, it's for hundreds of years. Not like since video games came out. Like since before video games were even a possibility, before computers, before fucking typewriters, that was a thing. The company that takes the patent away from Nintendo can then just say, I'm not going to invoke the patent against anyone. Sure, they could say that. But assuming that one random big corporation that sucks because big corporations suck is going to magically do the right thing when they're given that kind of power over the market is insane. There are no corporations out there who are going to be like, yeah, okay, we'll just let that slide. You've given us this insane power. We can basically just corner the entirety of number of markets, but we're just going to let everybody else do their thing. Like, that would never happen. You would just be giving the same ridiculous power to another ridiculous group of people. There maybe are 3 dev teams out there. You see the second patent? No, I didn't see the second patent that got approved. What else did they get approved? Is it equally fucking stupid? Because I'm willing to bet it's equally fucking stupid. Oh, they got a patent. Yeah, I did see the mounts. They got a patent for the use of mounts and being able to switch them on the go or something along those lines. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. Dude, just fuck Nintendo. I am never going to buy another Nintendo product. My very, very first game console was Nintendo, and I didn't really own PlayStations. I didn't really own Xboxes. I owned one Xbox and one PlayStation in my entire life. And every other console that I've ever played on has been Nintendo. And I've been a just die-hard player of, you know, Smash Brothers and the Zelda games and Mario games. And I mean, I've played almost every single one of those games. But starting at about the Switch, I just kind of started losing a lot of faith in Nintendo. And as I got older, I got to really see how litigious Nintendo was, with like fans trying to, you know, find new ways to play their games, like Smash Brothers. There was a lot of really big problems with Super Smash Brothers with tournament play, and a lot of stuff like that. And you know, trying to connect Smash Brothers to the internet and all kinds of different things like that. Nintendo has just always been in the way of everything that fans have tried to do to appreciate their games more. They're just a shit fucking company. I will continue playing Power World, and when Animo comes out, I'll play that. And Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I mean, I think I have to agree with you. Nintendo just stopped being creative. They stopped making cool games and instead tried to stifle the creativity of everybody else in the space. And tried to stop everybody else in the space from innovating ahead of them so that nobody could be more interesting than them. And that was their whole goal. Instead of making new, better games with the literal billions of dollars they made, making the same game over and over again for Pokemon, they were like, fuck that, let's just make more lawyers and stifle creativity. I mean, just a bunch of assholes, dude. I will never again buy a Nintendo product. I hope they go out of business. I hope that gamers can make Nintendo go out of business. Because that's what you get for being a pile of trash. I did see a little something about the new Digimon game. I've always been a fan of Digimon. I think it's a cool little spin-off or iteration of the Pokemon idea. But that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, you iterate. Everybody stands on the back of somebody else. That's just the way that works. Iterate, change, you know, make something your own. But yeah. What a bunch of clown shoes. I've been playing Palia the last few days. Haven't even tried anything for the new Dune stuff. Get tired of the game. You know, I've actually been considering maybe moving into some Palia as well. Just for some cozy vibes. It's not really my type of gameplay, but I probably wouldn't last very long before I got a little bored. Just wish there was more combat. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I would end up having an issue. Because I like to fight things. I'm a big murder the enemy fan. Pretty much just about collecting, building, and decorating. Yeah. Well, and I think that's great. And I think there's a lot of people out there who, specifically want to play a game like that. And I don't necessarily think that Palia needs to change for me. Right? There are plenty of games that are about killing things. So I'm fine with there being some games out there that are about something else. But I would probably play it if there was a little more murder hoboing involved. Just finished my hardest difficulty playthrough of Last of Us. Now I gotta do the hardest difficulty on New Game Plus. Oh, great, yeah. So I can get all my achievements. I think maybe not. I think the last game I went achievement hunting on was actually Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Had to get all the stars on all the levels for completing with certain amounts of bananas and stuff. Me and my friends went hard on that game. I played that bongo so much my hands hurt. I had bruises. From banging on the bongos. When I play the maracas, they go chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom. Let's see, how many arena tickets do we got? Let's do some arena. Go get a Ray. And then we got to do some Trials of Ascension. Ooh, almost lost to this person. I did lose to this person. Now I'm very annoyed. Get murked, John Danger. Get murked. We actually ought to go into this shop. I've got 24,000 coins. What should I spend them on? We could buy 300 summon tickets for 5,000. These are weekly purchases. I feel like maybe we max out those tickets. We buy that. Probably about as good as we're going to get there. Let's go to the shop here. We got 27K, which is basically not enough to do dick. Let's max out these dice. We definitely want some dice. And let's max out these. And let's get as many of these as we can. Let's go play. They still have all the ads and stuff for the PC version of this game. Saw a ton of people leaving negative reviews Steam for this game because it had mobile game ads and crap. You can't watch the ads in the mobile or in the PC version. So the way the ads in this game work are, you know, you have your limit of what you can do per day. And then once you reach that limit for some of the activities, you can watch ads to sort of refresh that limit once per day. And so it's a total opt-in ad system. It's not like the ads pop up in the middle of you playing and stuff like that. But it's a way that you can watch an ad and then, you know, get more keys to do the dungeons or something, which honestly is a system that I'm okay with. You know, this is a gacha game. It is extremely predatory with its monetization. It is out to get you. It intentionally inhibits your progress so that you will spend money on it. I mean, it's not, you know, I'm not like out here like, oh, the people who make Summoner's War are such upstanding game developers. But of all the different ways that you can do ads in a video game, the idea of, and I'll show you. So this is, I could get another key by watching an ad here, but I can't because I'm on PC. So the part of this that gets me is in their shop. They have a way to get rid of ads. Hang on. In here somewhere. This is all the extreme bullshit that you can buy in this game, which I don't think you should. Here we go. So you can get a permanent ad removal so that you can get everything that you would normally collect from watching ads, but you can get it without watching the ads. And it's $9. And so cool, except on PC, I can't watch the ads. So you've locked me out of those rewards unless I give you the $9. Because I would totally watch the ads. That's a thing I would do. I think that's a perfectly fine way to support a video game. I think as long as it's something that I opt into every single time, then that's totally reasonable to me. Advertising is one of the largest markets in the world. And so if you want to tap into that a little bit to fund your free-to-play video game, I'm down. I'll watch some ads. I will pay attention to the ads, right? Give me a 30-second ad. I will sit here and watch the whole damn thing. But the fact that I can't watch them, and then they also try and sell me the no ad thing, kind of pisses me off. And that's probably why you're seeing negative reviews about the ads, is because you can't interact with them at all. And I'm sure that's upsetting people. And I also would never have expected this game to get a better than mixed review. You know, it's not. It's a mobile gacha game. There's very little special about this game. It's a great way to waste time. That's about it. Go in here, conquer this bad boy. Then let's go fly up here. Actually, let's go over here. Grab these resources. I want to break free. And let's enter. Yeah, let's lift the previous Ares occupation. Let's see what we can do here. Am I even going to get through this first little group of enemies? I don't think so. Pretty sure I'm just going to get murdered again. I am so very much not strong enough for this. Interesting. Let's go see about using some of these. Nice. Give me some more HP and defense, man. HP and attack is fine too, I guess. And do we have any ranged? No. Oh. Got enough range to do one on Lima here. Let's do it. Ooh, double attack. Nice. Very nice. That was some good buffs. Ooh, right into it. Accuracy, HP recovery, HP accuracy. Absolutely not. Ooh, we got 900. Open up 3 of these 300 packs. And end up with nothing of value. Fantastic. 300 of these. More nothing of value. Also fantastic. At least there's buttons to press. I do like pressing my buttons. Thank God I'm so easily entertained. Let's see. What is my... What do you got? I'm at almost 2 billion. Person's at 10. We're not going to be able to fight them. Not going to be able to fight them. Might be able to get them. All right, well, let's fight this dude. Nice. Probably be able to beat that person. Hey, Gravy Train's back. I don't like the stabby bar. It scares me. DG Lester. Is DG Lester gonna... Oh, I thought they were gonna beat me there for a minute. I was like, what the hell is this? What about Stabby Ducky? Why do you have so many stabby dudes? Just everybody in the world have stabby freaking emojis? What's going on here? Stabby Krabby. I like Stabby Krabby more. That's pretty funny. Funny because it rhymes. Porcelain. Oh, whoa. That dude beat my ass. That's funny. I didn't realize that that was such a thing. They have stabby emotes. I guess I'm gonna have to get a stabby emote. I wish that I could be like the cool kids. 'Cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. Did I have a Walkman? Yeah. Sure did. We had them all. Started with Walkmans, then we had Discmans. We had like super early versions of MP3 players. We didn't have iPods. We got, I think they were called Rios. Was one of the old competitors to the iPods. I remember it was such a novel thing to be able to just carry so much music with you. No more CD cases in the car, no more any of that stuff. Just download so many things from Billboard's Top 100, put it on my Walkman. Yeah, recording. It wasn't a big thing for very long because we went straight from like super early. There were no CDs. But then, I mean, we had CDs and CD players by the time I was, I don't know, 7 or 8. So we hit the very tail end of that whole, burning a mixtape by actually hitting record while listening to the radio, try and get the song you wanted, and then having to stop it. And then, from there, we got our first computer, we got an internet connection, we got CD players, and then it was pretty much all over from there. Never looked back to cassette tapes. It's weird how crazy far technology has come since I was a kid. Claim all that. I think we need to go down here. Go to the shop. Also have a bunch of floppy disks, and my sister was like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. Yeah, I remember loading up DOS video games from floppy disks way back in the day. Ooh. Ooh. Someone offered me $100 for the floppies. I would have probably taken $100 for some old floppy disks. but I don't have much use for them. They probably need them for some legacy technology. Work or something like that, or they might be a hobbyist, I guess. I want to keep it just like the old CD. I mean, I understand wanting to keep that stuff just as like a sentimental value thing. I'm just not a very sentimental person. As soon as I stop having a direct need for a thing, I just kind of get rid of it. I don't much care about nostalgia. Maybe. Maybe you will. The question is that $1,000 that you could get when you're 90 worth more than the opportunity cost of that $100? So, I mean, assume that you know, you invested that $100, for example. And then when you were 90, you know, that investment would be worth way more than that $1,000. So, you know, it's one thing to keep something because you think it's an investment. But if that's the reason you're keeping it, you have to look at how that speaking of expensive CDs, Nemanja, have you ever heard of the N64 game Gotcha Force? Yeah. Well, I used to own Gotcha Force. I have no idea what happened to it. And it makes me sad every time I think about it. A, because I'd really love to play that game again, because Gotcha Force was an awesome video game. Had about 1,000 CDs, 4 big boxes, like 1 meter by what? Jesus. Mostly music or what? Oh, 1,000 CDs with games. Got it. Yeah, I mean, we used to. So when we were kids, we didn't buy a lot of computer games. We had Diablo, the original, Diablo 2, the original StarCraft, Dark Age of Camelot when it first came out on CDs. And maybe a handful of other ones. But most of our video games were actually on our Nintendo consoles. So we had, like big ass cartridges and stuff. But we didn't have a ton of video games on CDs because we played on Nintendo consoles. And then eventually you just stopped needing CDs for your video games. It actually wasn't very long at all before you just started downloading them off the internet. There's not even a CD player in my computer. There hasn't been in like the last 3 or 4 computers I've owned. I don't even build them with CD players anymore. Because there ain't no point. Yeah, I don't think there's a CD in my house. Like, not a single one. Oh, I don't think I or my older brother own a single CD anymore. Zero Gravy, thank you for voting for option 2. We here at Survival Hermit Incorporated appreciate your vote. Still have them with programs and systems, just don't use them. Yeah, I mean, I've moved around a lot in my life. Um, Pretty much ever since I was an adult. I don't think I've ever lived anywhere more than 4 years since I turned 18. And I'm 38 now, so that's at least 5 places, but that's way less than I've actually lived. I've probably lived in 15 different places since I turned 18 20 years ago. So just lugging around a bunch of CDs and shit like that just seems silly to me. Oh, what is this? Something I can buy for 1,000 or 100? Yes. Oh, you gotta purchase. That's cheating. That's absolute. Oh, wow. Wow. So they make you buy all the ones that cost money before you can buy the ones that cost crystals. What a joke. What a joke. They're trying to trick me. Cheeky buggers. You ain't gonna get me that way. You ain't gonna get me that way. Let's see, how's this go? We're level 4 now. Nice. Yeah, I mean, we've only got a couple more days here, Gravy, before we move on. It's the 15th, so we've got today, and then 3 more days. So we got 16th, 17th, 18th, and then on the 19th, Warborn Above Ashes comes out, which I hope comes out on NVIDIA GeForce Now. I guess I need to actually look into it. I kind of take NVIDIA GeForce Now for granted. I just assume that games are going to get put on there. But I guess it's possible that it won't. Let's see. The 19th is Friday. They usually add new games on Thursdays. So it actually might not be there on the first day. That would be pretty sad. I would cry. I would cry a lot. I would, in fact, cry so very much. The more I learn about Warborn Above Ashes, the more I think that I'm going to enjoy that game. It's got a real session-based feel to it, but it's also going to, I think, be fairly persistent. So I think it's going to be a really good game for people to hop into and just play and have a good time. And then, you know, even if you don't play for days, I don't think it's necessarily going to have too negative an impact on your gameplay when you come back. And I think that's really important. Games have gotten into this weird place with things like dailies and stuff like that, where they're trying to motivate you to log in and play every single day. And I think that's affecting gamers pretty negatively. because we're optimizers, right? We want to make sure that if there's value to be extracted, we're not leaving it on the table. And so when you lock that value behind a timer, right, you have to be getting on every day or you're not going to be able to unlock that value, then it's very, very stressful when you're in a situation where you just can't log on, right? You've got work, you've got family visiting, it's a holiday, something like that, and it just makes you feel like you're falling behind. A game that really did this was Lost Ark. Right? Lost Ark was such a good game and was so much fun to play, but keeping up with the dailies, keeping up with trying to upgrade your character and all that stuff, trying to make sure that you were maximizing your ability to get the resources that you needed to tier up your gear and all that stuff, just ultimately sucked a lot of the fun out of that game. Whereas, the moment-to-moment gameplay of the game was super fun. And then all of the meta gameplay, all of the large-scale, like zoomed-out gameplay stuff of developing your character was just absolute ass. And so that game should have ended up being way more popular for a much longer period of time than it was, because, the moment-to-moment gameplay of that game was super good. I really enjoyed it. But that daily system, it just, even for a person like me who plays all the time, it was too much. So I couldn't even imagine, if you were just some regular schmo who only played, a couple hours of video games a week, like how would you ever play Lost Ark? You couldn't. And the intention was to motivate people to spend money, right? You set up all these situations where people can, earn all this value and do all this stuff with dailies, and then inevitably they're going to fail to keep up. And so in order to catch up, they see the opportunity, okay, I can spend a couple of dollars. And then, they catch up and then they fall behind again and they do it again and again and again. And that was the whole point of the mechanism. Dailies are not there to help you keep up. Dailies are usually there as a psychological trick to get you to spend money. To give you a fallback. We'll give the boss 3 chances to attack just to boost his confidence. You're a stand-up guy, Gravy. You're a stand-up guy. What do we got? Oh, we've only got 81,000 more life to go before we hit 100K. Or before we hit 1 million, sorry. Y'all are gonna get 1 million health. How does that make you feel? And then I'm gonna take it all away. Once we implement the new combat system, which hopefully I can get done in the next day or two, we'll reset everything's health, try and rebalance a little bit. I wish that I could be like the cool kids. I don't know if there's anything left for us to do in here. I don't know if we can beat this boss. Gotta check to see. Oh. Oh no, we just haven't beaten this one. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's try some more. I need to beat stupid Mr. Wormy Face here so that I can get out ahead of Mr. Skate Free to Play. Come on, Wormy Face. Why don't you go ahead and die? Kill the Wormy Face. Because if I can beat the Wormy Face, then I can get all the way up to 2,900. Easy peasy. But if he keeps murking my tank like that, I don't know how I'm supposed to win. Come on, y'all can still do it. Squeeze it out. So close. Oh, it's so close. We're not gonna make it. Motherfucker. All that has to happen is he just has to not triple attack my tank on the first, before the first round of special attacks, and we're good. But if he triple attacks my tank before that first round of special attacks, then my tank just goes down. Oh, and now he's attacking one of my other players. Okay. Oh, and he killed my tank. Cool, cool. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. No. We're gonna keep doing this. No matter how many times we have to reset. Because he triple attacks my freaking tank. Like an asshole. We're gonna get through this. Now we're good. Now you can do whatever you want, dude. Triple attack away. Get it out of your system. Kill the sandworm. Kill the sandworm. Kill the sandworm, kill the sandworm. No, stop triple attacking. You knock that off right now. Bad sandworm. Nope, not gonna make it again. It's 2 more times. We can do this. You can do it. Nope. Last one. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't. Just stop it. Stop killing my tank. You absolute baboon. You're gonna lose. It's over. I've beat you 9 times. Just let it be done, dude. It's okay. Yep, we got one of my other ones. We might not make it. And now he's going after Suyua. We're definitely not gonna make it. God dang it. I hate this boss. He's ruining my life. Don't you dare triple attack me again. That's what I thought, you punk ass. That is what I thought. Get dumpstered. Now I think we should be able to kill the Axe Fox. And pretty much everything that comes after the Axe Fox. Without any manual input. Which should take us all the way up to 2,900. Which will put us right up here with Mr. OK or Mrs. OK or whatever. At rank 4. That's what I want. I want to be rank 4. Especially since all these people have way higher powers than me, right? This person has 2 billion more power than me. And I'm coming for their spot. This person has 1 billion more power than me. Even Tremorous has 600 million more power than me. And I'm up here just fucking their shit up. They're probably all in a Discord call together going, we don't understand. Why is Survival Hermit so much better than us? It's all about this dude right here, man. All about the tank. If none of your people die, then you get 100% DPS uptime. And that's all that matters. When I hit 4,000 stage, I'm actually going to put my healer in here, I think. We're getting pretty close to getting Chassin to tier 3, I think. Yeah, we just need 5 more copies. That's, I mean, a tall order. But if we can get Chassin up to where we can get Awaken tier 3 so that she triggers her heal right away, then you get 20% of your life every 0.2 seconds. So 100% of your life every second for 5 seconds. So 500% of your total, 20% of her attack as life. So 500% of her attack. So we actually need to increase her attack pretty significantly. Which is why we were going to... Right, we were going to get attack here. So let's go in and auto-grant, actually, and let's just get some flat attack here. And let's see if we can't get one of those. Whoops. Why did I get crit rate? I guess we're going to stick, I mean, we got 4% crit rate, which is the highest you can get, so we're just going to leave that on there. Because I can't. It is the recommended trait. I don't know why it's the recommended trait. I think attack is more important for Chassin. I don't know if when she crits, if it takes the crit attack damage as its heal value. I don't know if she can critical heal. If she can, then crit rate is really good. And I'm going to assume that that's probably why crit rate is the recommended. But I'm not 100% sure. But just getting a flat attack is also going to be really valuable. I can't believe I accidentally got that 4% crit rate. That's awesome. I hope that her heal can crit. I really do. Can we maybe get an attack damage, though? Don't run me out of freaking dice again. Come on. Get the attack. Get the attack. Get the attack. Get thee a wife. I hate you, game. I hate you very much. Hey, now we're up to 2871. Which means we're on to, I think, the Minotaur. Nope, the Mummy. The Mummy. Let's use up these 200. I'd really like to try and get to level 20 on this today. That'd be really good. And maybe get to 3,000 here. I don't know if we can beat that worm 2 more sets of times. The worm's pretty tough. I don't know if we can kill the axe fox either. The other ones seem like they'll be pretty easy. But the axe fox does almost too much damage right now. almost kills my tank. We've got 7 seconds left on this mummy, though, which definitely will be able to take him out the next 2 times with that extra 7 seconds. And I think we've got about that much time on some of the other ones, too. So I think the worm and the fox axe, or axe fox, or whatever, are probably the 2 that would cause me the most problem. I don't know if we can take them out again. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some little bonuses. I mean, we're getting some currency, so we can buy some more HP. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get a transcendent or something out of some of these pulls. We'll get another couple of 100 pulls coming before we got to fight the worm again, so... Oh, what's going on here? Must have missed some attacks or something. Mummy almost survived. Gross. $110 million XP to level this dude up again. Crazy. Fucking crazy. The end of the world, it'll be Keith Richards and 5 cockroaches. The volume of the attacks and the combat and stuff in this game seems to be really, really inconsistent. I don't understand. Like, it feels really quiet right now. And then the fighting will get really loud. Just sort of out of nowhere. I also forgot what comes after the Minotaur. Goofy ass Minotaur. I really like that there are thousands of these stages. It feels much more incremental, which again is pretty counterproductive to the way this game is made, right? Because its whole goal is to get you to spend money. But when you have such small increments of progress, little boosts in power get you a pretty significant amount of progress as far as numbers are concerned. And so it actually feels pretty decent to progress without spending money in this game because of that. Because there's 12,000 stages. So every day I clear, tens of stages. Despite the fact that I'm not getting crazy more powerful. I mean, I guess I've gained hundreds of millions of power today. But it was the beginning of a new week, which meant I had a lot more resources to spend, so. I don't know. This game has not backed me into a corner where I felt like I needed to spend money yet. Which is typically where I quit these games. And today's day 9 playing this account. I don't normally last 9 days. Normally I'll play really hard over a weekend or something. And then I'll call it quits. But we almost lost just then. Punk's still not trying to catch up. It's because he knows. There ain't no point. Because I'm bad, you know it. My goodness, your Lima is promotion 6-star? That's crazy. That's crazy. The Sphinx, right. Right, I remember. Let's use up some stuffs here. We got about 60,000 more points to go before we get to rank 20 here. Ooh. Nope. Bummer. Thought we were going to get another. You could give me a transcendent item. That'd be pretty dope. Doesn't look like it. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Oh. For some reason, we didn't defeat the Sphinx that time. I wonder if he killed my thing or if I missed too many attacks and so we didn't kill him fast enough. Guess I should have been paying attention. I was reading Steam reviews. Let's see, after tomorrow, I believe is the content update. Yeah, 1 day, 3 hours. So after tomorrow, we get new banners. So we lose Jean and Suyua. And we'll get something else. Potentially a new Mon, which will be cool. And then I believe they said they're adding more stages to the end. So instead of 12,000 stages, there will be like 13. I don't know how many they're adding, but... Oh, we lost our tank. We lost our Suyua. Are we potentially still going to win this? Maybe. We close. Squeak it out, y'all. Got him. Stage 2900 clear. Okay. We'll probably stop with the increasing my stage there. Because that worm is a pain in the butt. And every time he triple attacks me, I'm going to lose. So I need to increase some power. HP recovery instead of graze rate. With more HP and defense. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, ×2 limas. Nice. Very nice. I think that means, yeah, we have 3 there. And I believe we get 3 here. Yep. So that'll put us at 4-star. Which will be awesome, because that'll give us another one of these to get. She'll be strong. We also need to consider, since I have Lima, we need 5 more Devilmons to get her Awakened 3. That'll be pretty powerful if I get her Awakened 3, because she'll be able to CC straight away. So one of the things about Suyua is her exclusive casts defense down 20% debuff on the target under CC for 10 seconds. So if I get Lima up there as well, then since Suyua already has Awakened 3 and is constantly casting this skill, she'll also get her defense down on CC. Which means I can get rid of my monster that does defense down. Yeah, level 5 defense down debuff for 10 seconds. So I could get rid of that person because Suyua is giving it. I guess I can actually get rid of that monkey anyway as is. So I don't actually need this person at all. So who do I put in place? Do I put like Lucian or Tessarian? Do I put Brandia back in? I feel like maybe I put Brandia back in. Let's go back to my formation here. Remove this dude. Let's see about putting Brandia back in. And then let's go to Brandia. Yeah, we'll start trying to level her up a little bit. We could just take the levels off of the monkey, but this will be fine. Tomorrow when we get our daily keys, we'll get quite a bit. We'll probably be able to get Brandia up to level 47 or so tomorrow. And that'll be good. Yeah. But I think that's probably going to be it for the stream today. We've been having some short ones. This game just doesn't have enough stuff to actively do. And it is giving me more time to work on the chat game, which is nice. So I think we're just going to call it for the day. Thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Always love talking to you all. We'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to be playing the same game for the next 3 days. And then if it comes out on NVIDIA GeForce Now, we'll get into some Warborn Above Ashes, which should be quite a bit of fun. So thanks again. Hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you all on the next one tomorrow.